You know what nobody ever tells you. Women don't get approached. Not really. Most women will go weeks without a single man walking up to them cold and saying something real. And the ones who do, just get them. That's it. The man who actually approaches, who doesn't flinch and walk away, wins by default because the competition never even showed up. I've been with over 1,000 women. And after doing that, after actually living inside that number, I can tell you with complete certainty that there is only one thing that actually separates the men who win from the men who don't. And it's not what you've been told. It's not your height, not your jawline. Honestly, none of the variables you've been optimizing are the actual variable. All of that is noise. There is one single variable that governs all of this. The men who understand it are not on YouTube explaining it. They're busy living it. But I'm going to show you what it is after we look at what you're doing right now. Because until you realize exactly how you are sabotaging yourself, the answer won't mean anything to you. Man sees a girl, he wants to go talk to her. He starts listing the reasons not to. She's with friends, the timing is off, what if she has a boyfriend? And he lists them until it feels reasonable to do nothing. And then she's gone. And he says it wasn't the right moment. I was at a coffee shop with a buddy last week. Girl sitting 2 tables over, clearly looking at him. I told him to go over. He shook his head. Said it was too quiet in the room, everyone would hear him, and he'd just wait until she got up to leave. 10 minutes later, she gets up, puts her headphones in, walks right out the door, and is gone forever. He looked at me and said, "I was going to go." You do this every time. You just believe there is always a better moment coming, and you've been conditioned to think this is fine. Apps, DMs, liking her story, all of it is designed to let you exist without ever having to feel the risk of rejection in real time. You've trained yourself to be comfortable at the exact moment when masculinity requires you to be uncomfortable. And here's what that does over time. It doesn't just keep you single. It permanently dissolves the version of you that could actually get her. Every time you talk yourself out of it, the next excuse comes faster. The hesitation calcifies. And you've probably watched this happen to yourself. Think about the men you know who are just easy with women. Just easy. They walk into a room and something is different. You've watched them do exactly what you talk yourself out of, and it works for them. And you've asked yourself what they have that you don't. You probably told yourself it's genetics, or money, or that they grew up differently. No. They stopped waiting for it to feel safe, and the women they meet feel that instantly. Not as arrogance, but as the single rarest thing a man can communicate. That he doesn't need her approval to act. I wasn't always like this. The first time I walked up to a woman cold, I was 19. I was heavy, I was alone, and I had spent 2 years watching men I considered less interesting than me get everything I wanted. And I had built the entire theory around genetics, around luck, around circumstances I couldn't control. I walked up to her. I said something completely unremarkable. She laughed. We talked for 40 minutes. Nothing happened after that. But something happened inside my head. Because for the first time, I understood that the gap between me and the guys I was watching wasn't a technique. It was that they had simply stopped requiring a guarantee before acting. The decision comes first. The skill just shows up when you stop centering yourself. Because that's the actual variable. You are not bad at this because you lack the right words. You are bad at this because the version of you that shows up is still trying to win the approval of someone you barely know. And women can read that. They don't consciously judge you for it, they just feel it. The feeling that you need something from them. The men who are good at this don't need anything from the interaction. They walk in as a complete thing. That self-containment reads as masculine in a way that no opener script will ever replicate. Because those scripts assume you need to perform correctly in order to deserve what you want. You don't need to perform. You need to arrive. And I know that sounds abstract. Stop trying to be who you think she wants. Just be the person who showed up. That's it. Just be present, be unashamed of what you want, and stop listing the reasons why this specific moment is the wrong one. Because there is no right moment. The right moment was when you noticed her. Look at the version of you in 5 years who kept waiting, who kept optimizing the words and the clothes while the actual problem stayed untouched. A 28-year-old still telling himself the right situation hasn't arrived yet. That guy exists. And the only thing standing between you and him is the decision you make the next time you see a woman you want to talk to. Some of you are going to go back to the apps, back to the scripts. That's your call. But you watched this far, which means part of you already knows that the problem was never the words, it was the version of you delivering them. You don't need 1,000 women to figure this out. You need one decision. To stop waiting for permission to be the person you already are. If this landed for you, subscribe. Because this is the kind of content you actually want more of, and there's a lot more where this came from.